1991年12月、ナイジェル・マンセルと彼の家族はイギリスの満島から大西洋を渡り、フロリダのクリアウォーターに冬の住まいを定めた。マンセルにとって暖かな土地への転居は来たる1992年に向けての戦略の一部である。
I think it all came from the fact that I remained in Formula One racing, and because of the injuries I've sustained over the years, which are well catalogued, but a couple of broken backs and a broken neck and wrist and smashed toes, that the winters in the Isle of Man or in England, they're not only cold, wet and damp and rather snowy at times, but for training and trying to keep fit and trying to be on best form for the coming season exactly isn't the right environment. So therefore, if you like, to sort of prolong my career, we made a very, very difficult decision, and that is to winter in a foreign country, in Florida. And I will say in hindsight that we're very comfortable with that decision.
91年、マンセルは思わぬトラブルに見舞われながらもチャンピオンタイトルを終盤までセナと争った。
Well, I mean, obviously you can sort of have a good post-mortem about last year. I think the things that I would like to sort of pinpoint is the races that got away from us. 3 races in particular, the Canadian Grand Prix on the last lap, where we were only about 14 seconds away from the finish line when the computer shut down. Then the race in Belgium at Spa, when I was in the lead again, and we had an electrical failure. And of course, the other race, which I was again in the lead, we came in for a regulation pit stop in Portugal, and they sent me out with sort of 4 wheels on, but only 3 nuts. And obviously everyone knew what happened then, we were out the race. So, I mean, just looking at those 3 races, and we only lost the championship by, I think it's 24 points. And those 3 races are 30 points just there, so. And there's lots of other things. You can probably sort of write a list of about 17 different reasons why the championship didn't become ours last year. But the thing is, we'll learn from it, and we'll go into this year now a lot stronger.
強靭さと持久力は最新の準備から生まれる。これはマシンやドライバーに共通して言えることだ。エストリルサーキットで行われるマシンテストまであとわずか。マンセルはフロリダでトレーニングに励んだ。そしてイギリスではウィリアムズチームが FW14 の改良を進めていた。マシンとドライバーの対面に向けてそれぞれの義務が着実に果たされていく。オフシーズンでの働きがそのままシリーズ全体の行方を決定づけてしまうのだ。マンセルはラップレコードを次々と塗り替えた。ウィリアムズのアクティブサスペンションは飛躍的な進歩を遂げている。リルコットにあるウィリアムズの本拠地では新しいシーズンに向けての奮闘が再開された。マンセルのワールドタイトル獲得はウィリアムズチームの悲願でもある。チームオーナーフランク・ウィリアムズ、コマーシャルディレクターシェリダン・シン、テクニカルディレクターパトリック・ヘッド、 チーフデザイナーエイドリアン・ニューウェイ、チームマネージャーピーター・ウィンザー、そしてマンセルのレースエンジニアデビッド・ブラウン。プレシーズン恒例の記者会見でマンセルはチームに対する信頼と勝利への自信を強くアピールした。
I think the understanding that Williams' team has and I have now, and Frank Williams and Patrick Head, is the best it's ever been in my career. I think the respect and mutual admiration we have for each other's ability as a team and as a driver is at the highest point. And I feel that they are winners, they are racers. They're not there to make the numbers up. I'm not there to make the numbers up. We're there to get the job done this year, and that's to win the World Championship. And I think we have a real parallel objective this year, and I'm very, very comfortable with it. Well, this is the Williams Museum. I wouldn't like to put a price on these cars that are around here, but there's 50-odd victories between all these cars here, and several World Championships and Constructors' World Championships. So there's a tremendous amount of history just in this one room, and I think it's all credit to Williams themselves and the various sponsors they've had over the years. We'll see you now in the press conference.
92年マンセルに勝算はあるか。マスコミが会場に集合した。
It's a championship with a reliability with it now. 16 races and everyone counts. So you've got to finish, you've got to score points regularly. So we've had to address this and look at it very seriously. But getting back to your question, absolutely, I want the championship. I'd like it. I'm going to try. I don't know whether I'm going to get it, but I'll try.
最大のライバルはマクラーレンとそのドライバーたちである。91年のワールドチャンピオンアイルトン・セナ、そしてオーストリア人のゲルハルト・ベルガー、フェラーリの手綱を取るジャン・アレジ、ミハイル・シューマッハもタイトルを狙うダークホースである。1992年のウィリアムズの切り札はアクティブサスペンション。マンセル同様チームメートのリカルド・パトレーゼもこのニューマシーンに乗る。
The objective of an active ride car, you throw away springs, dampers, shock absorbers, all that kind of thing. You don't have any roll bars on the car. And everything is electronically controlled. And basically aerodynamics in a race car, that when you go over 100 miles an hour, play a very, very important part. In fact, over 50 miles an hour, the aerodynamics is phenomenal. And therefore, if you can control the ride height of the car, because with normal springs and suspension, the faster you go, the more download you get on the car, and the closer the car gets to the ground. Well, of course, with an active ride car, it's being at any speed, the active ride is controlling the ride height of the car. And that is the air going underneath the car as well as the air going across the top of it. So therefore, you can maximize your aerodynamics effect at slow speed, medium speed, and high speed. And you can, theoretically, practically it's a lot harder, but theoretically you can control the car's aerodynamics. And, or try, I'd say not control, but you try to optimize them. So therefore, in any speed, in any corner, you try and get the best balance from the car. And therefore, it is a step into the future. It's a phenomenal step forward, but ultimately, this year is going to be, the biggest single test is going to be for the active suspension.
最初のテストは3月の開幕戦南アフリカグランプリのキャラミで行われた。1985年以来7年ぶりにグランプリを迎えたサーキット。ドライバーたちは一新されたレイアウトを目の当たりにする。コースでは最終準備に余念がない。マンセルもハードワークをこなし、シーズンに備えて万全の体調づくりに励む。マンセルは F1 ドライバーの中でも大柄な方である。しかし冬の間の過酷なフィットネスが実を結び、去年に比べて4キロも減量に成功した。ちなみにチームメイトより2キロ軽くなった。コースにエキゾーストノートが響き、 マンセルが驚異的なスピードで疾走する。フリー走行予選ともにマンセルの圧勝。コースに出ればファーステストラップを叩き出す。各紙の見出しもマンセル一色だ。
Well, I mean, the headlines obviously are very flattering, but the hard day's work has just been completed. I'm very pleased to say that we managed to go a little bit quicker than yesterday and maintain pole position, which obviously is the best place to be on a track like this. So we start the race tomorrow from pole position, and we just hope that reliability now will give me a fair shake, and we can complete the race.
最終予選で電気系統に故障が出たため、マンセルはスペアカーで決勝に臨んだ。マンセルはライバルたちをはるか後方に引き離し、完全な勝利を目指して爆心した。
Having dominated practice, having dominated the race, having put up the fastest lap in South Africa, he won in 1985. This is going to be a glorious back-to-back double, albeit separated by 7 years.
Well, he's done everything right today. No mistakes from Nigel Mansell. A marvellous drive. It's been easy, but he's handled it perfectly professionally. Tremendous win and a great start to 1992.
And Mansell crosses the line to take the checkered flag.
マンセルとパトレーゼのワンツーフィニッシュによってウィリアムズはコンストラクターズ部門で最高得点をマークした。セナは3位に入ったが、すでに心の中では来季のウィリアムズ入りを目論んでいた。
Well, I think I can recall I said to everybody that was plan A, to come out the starting blocks and win the first race, and for that to come into fruition was fantastic. It was a great vote of confidence. Not to put a foot wrong, to sort of be quick in all, how many sessions, 9 sessions throughout the whole weekend was absolutely fantastic. And of course to get those 10 points on the board at the beginning, and I think what's so important in any championship is to score the points at the beginning of the year.
2週間後、F1 サーカスは新大陸に移動した。ここメキシコシティは前代未聞の大気汚染に悩まされている。
Well, the problem with this particular circuit is the fact that it's built on a lake bed, as we're aware. The circuit actually changes from year to year from the point of view that, one part of the circuit last year might have been smooth, and this year is in fact there's almost a small hill there. And so indicatively it's bumpy, it's fast, and then you've got the other problems that obviously, and I'm not proud to tell you this, but it's a first. Apparently there's the most pollution in Mexico City in the history of Mexico today at 12 o'clock. And how this affects is that the dust and the pollution comes down on the circuit like dust, and it changes the circuit from lap to lap sometimes, and it just makes it very, very tricky.
いかにトリッキーであったかは1回目の予選でクラッシュしたアイルトン・セナのこの姿が証明している。しかしマンセルは危険な路面状況を克服して再びポールポジションを獲得した。決勝当日、余裕のマンセルはラッシュアワーと人混みを避けるため早めに出発した。
And on your right you see Nigel Mansell. He was on the left last year. He and Patrese had a terrific drag up to the first corner. Mansell's got away beautifully. Patrese is in second place, and there's a coming together right in the middle of the grid. That's Capelli going off in the Ferrari from 20th place on the grid, and the other one I think was Karl Wendlinger, the Austrian, in the march. But it is Mansell leading, Patrese second. Senna is up into third place from 6th on the grid.
後方での混乱を尻目にウィリアムズ・ルノーの2台は2度目のワンツーフィニッシュを狙う。セナの早めのリタイアもウィリアムズの2人にとっては別世界の出来事だった。 2戦連続でウィリアムズチームはパーフェクトスコアをマークした。マクラーレンは全力を挙げてニューマシンを準備し、次の一戦にかける。
It's wonderful. It's a bit too early for it to all sink in at the moment, but very, very hard race. My teammate Riccardo Patrese drove an excellent race and was pushing real hard for about 30 laps. But I mean, we got the result that we wanted, so I'm very, very comfortable with that.
2週間後、舞台は同じラテンアメリカのブラジルに移った。サンパウロはアイルトン・セナのホームタウン。しかし熱狂的なファンの声援にもかかわらず、彼らの英雄は金曜の予選でマンセルに3秒以上の遅れを取った。
It's been absolutely scintillating and fantastic day. It really has. The Renault engines work tremendously well. The Williams car. I mean, the whole package, the L fuel, we had some new fuel today, which obviously contributed to the lap time too. And we put a real good lap, I'd say. One of my career best laps for qualifying today. I ended up 1.8 seconds quicker than my teammate, and he was in turn a second quicker than the rest of the competitors. So I mean, absolutely fantastic day for the team.
土曜のファイナルセッションでマンセルとセナの間に行き違いが生じた。マンセルはコースアウトして外壁に衝突する。
He signalled for me to overtake.
Oh.
He signalled for me to come over on the left side, and I was almost up to speed but not quite, so by the time I got alongside him he put his foot down. Now what made him put his foot down is only he can tell us.
Yeah.
But then we ran out of road and obviously I ended up in the war and I was very bruised and battered.
You were well battered, and you had to have a medical on Sunday?
People don't realise, but I had concussion. I was quite poorly in the medical unit for about 2 hours, and then I got maybe 2.5 hours sleep before then I went to the circuit to race.
It's go! Now, who's going to get away first from the Williams? It's a magnificent start by Riccardo Patrese, who leads Nigel Mansell away. Patrese has been practicing his starts and it seems to have been working.
3戦目もやはりリードを取ったのはウィリアムズの2台。3番手以下をみるみる離していく。ニューマシンに乗ったセナはわずか17周でリタイアする。マンセルはタイヤ交換のために27周目でピットイン。2周遅れてピットに入ったチームメイトからトップの座を奪う。
As the Williams team look for their team leader, and that he is, Nigel Mansell crosses the line.
ウィリアムズ・ルノーの快進撃は続く。マンセルはライバルセナの母国でシーズン開幕3連勝を飾った。
Fantastic, isn't it? I mean, I can't really believe it. It's just the team's done a marvellous job. I mean, the engine worked superbly today, and I mean, my teammate, poor dear, he drove like a man possessed for the first half of the race. It was really tough to try and get past. But the pit stop was very, very good, and then I came out and did a couple of qualifying laps to get the jump on him at the pit stop, and then I managed to pull away steadily then after that, which was nice.
開幕3戦目にしてマンセルは満点の30ポイントを確保し、タイトル争いをリードした。2位は18ポイントのパトレーゼ、3位にシューマッハと続く。ブラジルからスペイングランプリまでの4週間を利用してウィリアムズチームはニューエンジンルノー RS4 のテストをシルバーストーンで行った。常にライバルの上を行かねばならない。
We've had a great day. We've done a lot of comparison work, although it's been very blustery. We've had up to sort of winds of 50, 60 miles an hour. But cars ran reliable, and we're very pleased with it. The times are quicker than last year already, quicker than qualifying. So we've gone about a second quicker than anyone's ever gone here before. And being as I was the person who went the quickest time before, that's nice. Quite a good day.
F1 グランプリのヨーロッパラウンドはスペインのバルセロナから始まった。金曜ドライコンディションで行われた予選でマンセルが堂々4回目のポールを獲得。しかし決勝当日は朝から雨。 当然波乱含みのレースが予想される。
It's going to be a little bit of a lottery, and the elements are going to play a very large part in the outcome of the race today. Even if you get a good start, which obviously I'm hoping to get a good start, within 10 or 15 laps you'll be coming round to lap the back markers, and in these conditions not one driver will be able to see behind him because of the spray, the plumes of spray, and therefore overtaking even slow cars is going to be very, very difficult.
駐車場で孫つく車を尻目にジャン・アレジは路面をしっかりとグリップし驚異的なスタートを切った。マンセルがトップを疾走する。最初にパトレーゼ、そしてセナがリタイアした。2番手に浮上したシューマッハは果敢にチャレンジして21秒もあったマンセルとの差を終盤5秒にまで縮めた。しかしマンセルは再びスピードを取り戻し結局8区の4連勝を遂げる。2位にベネトンのシューマッハ、3位にはフェラーリのアレジが入った。表彰台に立つマンセルの顔に心地よい安堵感が浮かぶ。
I mean, it was an incredible race because, I mean, just to stay on the circuit, you deserved a medal. And I had quite a few frights during the race. One of them was when I was being caught 2 or 3 seconds a lap by the young Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, right.
And I was driving on the line and going as fast as I could, and I was committing myself. And you know, he brought my lead down from 21 seconds to about 4 seconds. And I was having, as much as you can, I was having a minor panic in the car saying, what on earth's wrong with you? I mean, I was looking at my lap times and they were the same, but I just wasn't going quick enough. And then all of a sudden I started to get out of shape on some of the corners, and I actually found a lot more grip on the outside of the circuit. And then all of a sudden, from sort of doing the lap time I was then able to go 2 or 3 seconds a lap quicker myself. And then of course I stopped the flow, I stopped him catching me, and then ultimately then I actually started to pull away again. And I tell you, the absolute relief I had in the car when I was able to do that was extraordinary. And I almost froze in the car because I was responding and I wasn't doing anything.
How on earth do you cope with aquaplaning, where you're literally riding on a film of water?
That's the problem. Because I'd won the first few races, I was protecting my lead safely. Yeah. And I couldn't protect it safely and still win, because he was driving so well and so quickly. Then I had to go totally to the edge of the envelope and beyond in those conditions to then go quicker.
スペイングランプリの勝利でマンセルの通算優勝回数は25回となった。これはジム・クラークと並ぶ記録である。そしてサンマリノグランプリ、マンセルに新たな記録を刻むチャンスが巡ってくる。開幕5連勝は未だ誰も成し遂げたことのない偉大な記録である。金曜の予選でマンセルは連続5回目のポールポジションを獲得。チームメートに1秒以上の差をつける速さだった。相変わらず熱狂的なティホシたち。ライオンハートの素晴らしいパフォーマンスを一目見ようと見晴らしの良い場所によじ登る。
One of the LaRousses is to the side. Mansell leads. Patrese is second. Senna coming up alongside the Italian.
マンセルは23周目でフレッシュタイヤに履き替えた。迅速かつ完璧なピット作業によりトップをキープしたまま悠々と戦列に復帰する。レース終盤、手足が引きつり痙攣が起こった。しかしマンセルは最後まで走り抜き開幕5連勝を達成する。
And Mansell crosses the line for Williams Renault to win the San Marino Grand Prix very convincingly indeed, having led from start to finish. Riccardo Patrese there finishes in second position.
マンセルは他の追随を許さない圧倒的な高次元で充実した走りを見せた。ドライバーズチャンピオンシップはマンセルの一人舞台になりつつある。
Obviously been a fabulous day. One of the greatest in my life, there's no question. To think that you've created history today in the whole sport for winning obviously 5 in a row from the beginning of the season, it puts you amongst the greats of all time. But it's a tribute, and I must say it's a tribute to the team, to all the Renault engineers and designers, to the Williams team especially, all the mechanics, everybody back at the factory, the associated sponsors, to Elf, the fuel supplier. I mean, without them, we'd do nothing. And so this race, this little bit of history we made today, is a big tribute to all of them. When you get on a roll like this, every race gets harder. It doesn't get easier, it gets harder from the point of view that, you know, I was looking at things going wrong. I was, as my mechanics will tell you, I mean, and they did a fantastic job. I mean, I'll thank them now. I mean, Gary, Carl and Stuart, and of course, you know, David Brown and the guys on the T car as well, Bob and the crew. I mean, thank you very, very much. But, you know, they were so meticulous. I mean, they were on a roll too. I mean, they would get upset with the slightest thing wrong, and, you know, I mean, the trust that we had in one another to deliver and to do the job was beautiful. It was beautiful.
絶好調のマンセル、愛車 FW14B を誇らしげに紹介する。
Well, here we have FW14B. As you can see at the moment, all the bodywork's off, so you can see the various computers and control boxes. I won't identify exactly what does what, because then I'll compromise my position within the team and the contract. This is top secret underneath here, so you can have a quick look quickly and then put it down quickly, and I never showed you it. Look, get the chief mechanic, he's looking at me now. Now this is Dickie, chief mechanic. Tell him Dickie, how strictly confidential that is.
Very confidential.
Yeah. The essential parts of a Formula 1 Grand Prix car is obviously the suspension. The most incredible thing about this car, it doesn't have any. Yeah, this is basically, what do you call this now?
Strut.
Just a strut. Yeah.
Strut.
Yeah. That does everything, and it has only a little bit more movement than that, and it just controls the ride height. Now, another little bit of. You got that? This is the RS4 engine, which is a very good engine. Very tidy. Car is engineered very, very well indeed. I mean, if you look at a car and it looks tidy and clean, then the chances are it's the engineering of it is very good. Anyway, what we have here is a very good close-up of the steering wheel that we use to activate the gearbox. As you can see, all we do is just press the lever up and down like this, and that changes gear. Nice simple device, nice lightweight yoke. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's fairly straightforward, except when you're going around corners you have to remember which way is up and which way is down, otherwise you can have an exciting time. This button here is the automatic transmission. You press that button, you don't have to touch the steering wheel again. It changes up the gears all on its own at a preconceived rev change. This button here, this can alter your ride height while you're going along, and it's like a low drag situation, which everyone seems to know about now, so I've got no problem telling you. These are all different settings on here that you can have on the dashboard, which shows you the ride height, standard ride height and the test ride height. I'd have to go along and say the aerodynamics comes first. In my opinion this year, I think the aerodynamics are second to none in the pit lane. The engineering in the car comes next. I think between Patrick Head and Asian Nui, they've done a superb job, there's no question about that. And then the mechanical, that's probably, although it's very, very important, that comes next with this particular car.
モナコでのマンセルは使命に燃えていた。未勝利のこの憧れのサーキットでどうしても勝ちたい。
Well, here we are in Monte Carlo, the sixth round of the Grand Prix season. I think you can see with the scenery, it's a little bit better venue. I'm here with my family, my wife Roseanne and my three children, Chloe, who's age 9, who's 10 in August, Leo, who's 7 and will be 8. Where are you, Leo? Oh, he's gone running now. Oh, there he is, he's hiding. And of course Greg, the Terror, which is hiding on the ground there, and he's just 4.
モナコでのグランプリは忙しいマンセルに家族と一緒に過ごす貴重な時間を与える。ドライバーからお父さんに変身、マンセルの本来の姿である。スケジュールには休息の時間も含まれていたが、マンセルが一番リラックスするのは積極的に動き回っている時だ。
One thing I can promise you, if you hook the ball to the left, you don't go and look for it. It's a long way down there. Follow us around and enjoy it. Sorry? I remember, yes, I do. What's the question?
土曜日の予選でマンセルは連続6回目のポールポジションを手に入れた。パトレーゼはセナを抑えて2番手につける。
Patrese gets in front of Senna, stays in front of Senna. Senna sprinting through and going up into second position ahead of Riccardo Patrese as they go up the hill. Are they getting round Sander Voss? Yes, they are. Mansell leads. Senna is second. Patrese is third. Alesi is fourth.
マンセルの勝利は決まったかに見えた。しかし71周目、左リアタイヤに異常を発見、急遽ピットインする。残り7周、マンセルは猛然とダッシュしてリードを奪ったセナに肉薄する。
I do not see how Mansell, even Nigel Mansell on fresh tyres, is going to be able to get by. He can't. Ayrton Senna has won the Monaco Grand Prix almost certainly as he exits the Rascasse. Mansell closes, but it's too late, and Ayrton Senna wins at Monaco for the 5th time.
I think I can honestly say that it's probably the greatest second place I've had in my career, and probably the most important second place I've had in the career, because we could have so easily been put out of the race with the problem we had. So to get the car back to the pits and get the wheel changed and go out again, and we were this close from really winning the race. It's a bitter pill to swallow when you're 30 seconds in front with only 10 or 12 laps to go, but nevertheless, you know, it's motor racing. Many things can go wrong, and as been shown today, it does go wrong occasionally, but I think we bounced back very well. I feel the championship, you know, is all about gathering points. I have scored in all 6 races to date, And I think from the championship point of view, that is very significant and very important. We could have so easily had an accident in the tunnel when the wheel came loose. And so, you know, I've got half a smile on my face.
He's waving to the crowd and he's going to beat Nelson Piquet by some 50 seconds. He's taking the hairpin very... He's stopping! Nigel Mansell, just a few hundred yards from the flag on the last lap. He's stopping, he's banging his steering wheel in frustration. Something has happened. It looks as though he's out of the race.
ウィリアムズチームは昨シーズンカナダで味わった無念を忘れてはいない。マンセルはグリッド3番手のスタート。フランク・ウィリアムズとパトリック・ヘッドは苦戦を予測していた。
And it's going Senna really feeds into power, as does Mansell. They both leap forward, and Mansell is past Patrese already. Nigel Mansell up into second position, a sensational start. You get a wonderful impression of speed on this Gilles Villeneuve circuit, named after the great Ferrari pilot Gilles Villeneuve. And there on the left you see Gerhard Berger, and there's a spin, and that is Mansell. Mansell spun. Well, this is terrible for the British driver. He's going right. He looks as though he's out of the race.
I see debris, and hopefully we'll get a replay of this because we didn't see what happened there.
あいにくリプレイを見ても何が起きたのか定かではなかった。さらにパトレーゼのギアボックスにトラブルが生じ、ウィリアムズの一日はあえなく幕を閉じた。マンセルにとっての唯一の慰めは電気系統の故障でセナもリタイアしたことだ。結局マクラーレンのベルガーが優勝し、シューマッハが健闘してベネトンに2位をもたらした。
The biggest disappointment for me in Canada was not having the accident. The biggest disappointment was that the camera didn't show why. I mean, Ayrton basically.
We didn't see it at all.
He just took me straight out.
Oh.
And, you know, I was wrong for one thing. I was wrong for coming up alongside of him and thinking that he would respect that I had the inside line. But those are the things that, unfortunately, that Ayrton does from time to time. And, you know, he just pushed me straight off.
第8戦目のフランスでは契約問題が取り沙汰されるようになった。アラン・プロストがマンセルのパートナーとして93年ウィリアムズチームで走るという噂が乱れ飛ぶ。すでに契約も済ませたというのだ。マニクールサーキット周辺の道路は国内のトラックドライバーによるストライキで交通麻痺を起こしていた。そんな中でマンセルは実力を遺憾なく発揮し、ウィリアムズ・ルノーは再びポールポジションを獲得する。決勝当日、サーキットに向かうドライバーたちの頭上には厚い雨雲が垂れ込めていた。
Michael Schumacher, and Patrese noses ahead of Nigel Mansell. Now Patrese, who took pole position last year, has got a real flyer, and Schumacher challenging Ayrton Senna in the McLaren as they come up to the Adelaide hairpin, and there's a contact there. Who is it? It's Schumacher. And who is he hit? It's one of them. It's Senna. And now they're filtering their way round. Are they going to stop the race on the first lap? At the hairpin bend, Schumacher and Senna seemingly out. Mansell is really going for it. He's pressuring Riccardo Patrese all the time. He's going for it again at the Adelaide turn, at the hairpin, trying on the outside this time. But Patrese doesn't give way, they're alongside. Surely Mansell will take the lead here. They're coming up to the Nürburgring here, the right and the left. And Mansell is in the passing position, but Patrese forces him back. Wow, this is a terrific scrap between two equally determined teammates in two perfectly matched Williams-Renaults.
And the red flag is out. The race is being stopped. The red flags are out.
雨でレースは一時中断されたものの、第2ヒートでもパトレーゼがリード。シューマッハは2度目のアクシデントに見舞われリタイアした。マンセルは1周目の後半でトップに浮上。雨足が強くなったにもかかわらず、ウィリアムズ・ルノーは8戦中5度目のワンツーフィニッシュを決めた。
Can almost see the checkered flag as he goes into the right-hander. This is the last corner. That is the finish line. There is the checkered flag. Nigel Mansell wins in France for the second year in succession.
このレースでマンセルは通算27勝目をマーク。ジャッキー・スチュワートの持つイギリスレコードと肩を並べた。ドライバーズチャンピオンシップではマンセルが圧倒的な強さを見せ、コンストラクターズ部門でもウィリアムズチームは他を大きく離し3桁の大台に乗せた。
I can drive, I have the ability at the moment anyway to drive quicker than certainly Ricciardo in the same car, and he has to run something like 5 to 10 litres per race more fuel in the car than I do, because the way he uses the throttle, the way he goes in and out the corners and that, and he uses more engine revs and that. So he had a problem in France that, you know, if he tried to keep going the pace he was going, he wouldn't have finished the race, period.
フランスグランプリの1週間後、マンセルは地元のファンが待ち構えるシルバーストーンに里帰りをした。
Hi. Big. Once we start though, we're in trouble, aren't we?
Where do you want it? Where do you want
Anywhere. Oh, anywhere.
There you go.
Oh, where's my pen? He's got a pen.
There you go.
Anywhere.
All
Well
right.
done. Love to see you. I've been
you.
dying for this for ages. I was just going back for a rest.
Yeah, how are you? All right.
Oh, I'm fine now. Oh, it's grand.
There you go.
Oh, thank you ever so much. Best of luck for Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
イギリス国民のアイドルマンセルおじさん。ジャッキー・スチュアートは自分の記録に肩を並べたマンセルを称賛した。
Well, I sent Nigel a telegram, or a fax actually, saying welcome very temporarily to the 27 Club, because I'm sure he's going to be a very short-time member. But of course I'm very pleased for him. It's very nice that this amount of success has come in the manner that it has. And of course he's a worthy person to have knocked up 27 victories. I can't complain. I'm very pleased for him because I've held this record now for 19 years. So I'm just pleased that there's another British driver up there winning as often as Nigel is.
その頃、三度王座についたブラジルの英雄は厳しい現実を直視していた。
To be realistic about it, I think we have very little chances in this year championship. Of course, as long as mathematically it's not over, you have just to keep on trying. But definitely the Williams-Renault combination is the favorite one, the dominant one, and I think we will unfortunately continue that way until the end of the year at least.
ウィリアムズの圧倒的な優勢は予選でも歴然としていた。マンセルはパトレーゼより2秒早いラップタイムでポールポジションを獲得。セナには3秒近い差をつけた。マンセルを捕まえることができるのは息子のグレッグだけのようだ。ウィリアムズグランプリエンジニアリングのディレクターでさえマンセルの息子の攻撃からは逃れられない。ついにシルバーストーンカップでマンセルはチームメイト全員を敵に回した。さあいよいよシルバーストーンカップが始まります。フィールド中央の選手が一斉にマンセルをマークしています。さあマンセルシュート決まったー、ナイスシュート、あうまい。さあ白熱した試合になっています。敵のキャプテンがアタック。たくさんの敵に囲まれてマンセル攻めあぐんでおります。どうだ、これは惜しい。惜しい。ホイッスルが鳴るまでにまだチャンスはあります。残念。まだまだチャンスはあります。さあどう出るマンセル。ここで福栄が出てきてマンセルにパス、シュート決まった、入った。 素晴らしいシュート、もう一度ご覧ください。まだホイッスルは鳴りません。グランプリ週末のお祭り騒ぎもいつしか厳粛な儀式へと姿を変えていく。シルバーストーンは期待に胸を膨らませた群衆であふれ返った。
Patrese alongside him, the Italian has again outdragged Nigel Mansell. He leads into Copse and Martin Brundle has passed Schumacher, and then the two McLarens and Martin Brundle has made an absolute flyer, as has Patrese, and Patrese, the Italian in the Williams Renault, is now in second position because Nigel Mansell has exerted his authority and has surged past Patrese.
熱狂的な崇拝者に囲まれてマンセルはアドバンテージを築きながらトップを独走する。セナの苦悩のシーズンは続いた。53周目にギアボックスのトラブルでリタイア。そして7周後、マンセルは余裕の走りを見せながらシルバーストーンの群衆に勝利をもたらした。
Are waving and Nigel Mansell wins the 1992 British Grand Prix in terrific style. Hands off the wheel.
マンセルはイギリスグランプリ4度目の優勝に酔いしれた。ファンも感動に打ち震えマンセルに殺到。会場は大混乱に陥る。通算28勝はイギリス人ドライバーの新記録である。
I give the crowd something that I believe other drivers don't. I relate to them. Whatever shortcomings I have, and there might be quite a few, they know that if I say something, they know that that's correct, right? Because I don't play petty politics or huge politics. I don't know how and I don't want to. And on the track, they can see I'm trying. They can visibly see that I'm going for a lap. They don't need to guess. They can see it. And I mean, even to the point that, you know, the qualifying lap and then 2 laps before the end of the race, right, I lowered the track record by another 2 seconds a lap. I didn't do that for me, I did it for them. When they can stand up on every lap and wave and cheer and all the rest of it, right?
You can't see
oh,
them.
you can see it, you can see it, and on some corners you can hear it.
Well, when you're going down the hangar straight,
you better believe it.
Really?
Yeah, they are something else.
高速が売り物のホッケンハイムサーキット。決勝当日のグリッドはポールポジションにマンセル、その横にパトレーゼというおなじみのものだ。
Good start by Mansell. Patrese's done it again. Riccardo Patrese has got another flyer and leads into the first corner. And coming down towards us now, it's Mansell attacking Riccardo Patrese. He's going to take the lead on the first lap, or try to. And Senna comes up alongside Berger, followed by the 2 Benettons. And it's Mansell leading. Patrese second, Berger third. Senna is in fourth place.
パンクの警告灯が点滅し、マンセルは早めのピットイン。セナの後方からコースに戻ったが、あっという間にマクラーレンを追い詰めた。ポストカーブ試験で勝負に出たマンセルは勢い余ってコースアウト。しかしすぐに冷静さを取り戻し、セナの頑固なブロックを突き破る。残すはチームメイトのパトレーゼとセナの2位争いだ。
And what a tremendous finish.
Indeed it is. It's going to be the closest Grand Prix finish we've had for a long, long time. Patrese spins and loses that third position. But Nigel Mansell wins in Germany and he equals Ayrton Senna's record.
新たな勝利によりついにマンセルはチャンピオンシップに王手をかけた。残されたレースであと1勝を挙げれば悲願は達成される。過去2回タイトルはマンセルの目前にあった。1986年のアデレード、そして87年の鈴鹿、1992年8月、ワールドチャンピオンの座は再び彼の目前にあった。マンセルはプライベートジェットで決戦の地に向かう。連れはウィリアムズのコマーシャルディレクターシェリダン・シントン、妻のロザンヌだ。
I'm now going to Budapest with bated breath because, yes, you're right. If we win here in Budapest this weekend, that elusive World Championship could be ours.
金曜、予選のためにサーキットに向かうマンセルは明らかに緊張していた。長引く契約問題の交渉がさらに大きなプレッシャーとなってのしかかる。
Here we are at the circuit. You're on the main gate now, and no doubt you'll be filming some of the circuit and get a couple of the corners where we'll be going round. As I said, probably going to be one of the toughest days in my life because of the concentration, the fact of the championship, and a lot of things going on I can't talk to you about at this moment, but we'll certainly enlighten you as the weekend goes on. Catch you later. Bye bye.
予選初日、いつものマンセルらしくない、スムーズに物事が進まないようだ。土曜日も精彩を欠いた。結局マンセルは金曜のタイムを更新できず、チームメートの後方2番手のポジションに甘んじる。太陽が沈み、マンセルは物悲しい雰囲気の中にいた。
Tomorrow will be obviously one of the most important races of my whole life and certainly of my career. We will be driving with as much calm and composure and as fighting spirit as the circuit will allow us, because the circuit is not what I call a proper racing circuit. We will all have to be patient and see what happens. I'm really looking forward and hope dearly that I can get a good night's sleep tonight. Although there's lots of other pressures with contracts and people pushing and pressurizing you and pulling you in different directions. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
不運に泣いてきたマンセル、ワールドタイトルを前に苦しい一夜を送る。決勝当日、重圧に苦しむ男の胸中を知らず、人々の期待は一人のドライバーに注がれた。今度ばかりはドライバーよりも観客の方が気合十分。朝早くから人々が押し寄せる。負けてはいられない。
that's it. Good start by Mansell on the inside. Patrese is going quicker, but Senna is up into third position ahead of Schumacher. Berger goes round Schumacher up into third position, and he's passed one of the Williams. I didn't see which it was. It's Patrese leading. It is Senna in second place. So already the McLarens are ahead of the man who hopes to win the World Championship here, Nigel Mansell in fourth position. And there goes Schumacher. There goes Mansell. Mansell through and up into third position. I'm sorry, Nigel Mansell chasing Ayrton Senna. Riccardo Patrese still leading by now nearly 17 seconds. Then Gerhard Berger goes past. Mansell ran wide, and Gerhard Berger, that's exactly what he was looking for.
Yes, you see, and Berger got the power on early, but Mansell was quicker than him earlier in the race. And Mansell goes through, Berger leans on him in that, and there is Mansell, a spin, that's Patrese.
Yeah, Riccardo Patrese, the race leader, off, and he's out of the race. Unless he can get going under his own traction, and he's not going to. This is an astounding development, and it's going to mean that we've got the same situation here this year that we had last year. Senna leading and Mansell in second position.
パトレーゼの転落によってマンセルは2位に繰り上がった。タイトルをものにできる順位だ。しかしその夢も一瞬砕けたかに見えた。まさかのパンクでレッド5はタイヤ交換を余儀なくされる。
This is a sensational development that could affect Nigel Mansell's World Championship chances. It is lap 62 and the Englishman comes in. Now why? Is it a retirement or is it tyres? Well, they're certainly changing tyres. Meantime, I'm looking for Berger going through, for Schumacher coming through, for Brundle coming through. It's only a short stop. Mansell accelerates out of the pits.
マンセルは6位で戦列に復帰し、シューマッハの思わぬアクシデントにより5位に浮上する。次のターゲットはハッキネン、そしてブランドル、さらにベルガーを射程距離に捉え3回目のオーバーテイク。マンセルは2位に返り咲いた。セナははるか前方を走り、もはや手が届かない。しかし今この時、マンセルの長年の夢が叶おうとしていた。
Nigel Mansell on the last lap for second place. Here he is. Mansell finishes and he's world champion.
And a tremendous effort for Nigel Mansell. He's fought long and hard for this. He's the third highest Grand Prix winner of all time, and well-deserved it is.
And I must confess to suffering some emotion myself.
マンセルは憔悴した姿で表彰台に現れ、歓喜した群衆の喝采とライバルからの祝福を受けた。
All the fans out there and all the supporters for the years, and especially my country, and that this is all for you.
And I think Roseanne Mansell will be pretty relieved at this moment.
Yeah, I just can't wait to see her. And Chloe, happy birthday. It's your birthday today, and I hope this is the biggest present you'll ever get in your life. We're on the way back home to the Isle of Man. I don't know whether it has sunk in yet. I mean, I've got this silly smile on my face, and I've just about gathered my breath, and you know what I mean? Oh, it's just the most fantastic feeling and the best day in my life. Roseanne's been the trump card in my whole life. If I'd not met Roseanne and I'd not married Roseanne, I wouldn't be sitting here now. She's the most marvellous woman that any man could wish to have as a wife, and I'm pleased there's only one of her.
満島に戻った英雄を地元の人々が温かく歓迎する。我が家に落ち着き、今度は家族と共にお祝いだ。
To all of you out there who's watching this, a very, very big thank you, because this World Championship that we've managed to win after 30 years, if you like, because that's the first time I drove a car, when I was 8 or 9, is partly yours. I mean, you gave me the support, you gave me the encouragement, and you all made me unretire 2 years ago, and we did it all for the right reasons. Thank you very much.
2日後、マンセルとロザンヌは記者会見に臨んだ。
The phone hasn't stopped ringing. The gate buzzers hasn't stopped, and really the house has been absolute chaos. People have been coming and going, and I just don't know sort of where the last 2 days have gone.
1993年、プロストのウィリアムズ入りはほぼ間違いない。マンセルの身の振り方が注目される。
Even more today than 2 years ago, I'm not there to make the numbers up, and therefore one might consider retiring, obviously.
Nigel, are you then saying then it is Williams or retirement? That statement.
Yeah.
ベルギーでマンセルの苦悩はさらに深まった。セナが無償でもいいからウィリアムズで走りたいと誤解を招く発言をしたのだ。シェリダン・シンはマンセルのために問題解決に乗り出した。
There are some problems, we're working on them, and they will be dealt with the minimum of delay, because from the point of view of the team, the drivers, stability, engineering, sponsors, from every point of view, it's desirable to sort this matter out as quickly as we can.
What is exactly happening? I'm not quite sure, except there's some very, very strange things being negotiated, and I think it comes down to commercial and sponsorship and basically manufacturers' pressures.
I'm sure he's frustrated because, like all serious racing drivers, he's impatient and wants to get on with the job. I hope we have enough mutual respect that he doesn't blame me personally for these delays, and indeed I've been trying to ease things in recent days, and he's aware of that.
パトレーゼはウィリアムズを離れてベネトンに移籍する模様である。アイルトン・セナも椅子取り合戦から外れた。
Prost has a contract. He has a clause in there that has a veto for me to drive, and it's nothing you can do about it.
スパで好成績が出ればコンストラクターズチャンピオンはウィリアムズに確定する。
I'd just like to introduce you to somebody who makes my racing as easy as it is. David Brown, race engineer for Team Williams. David and I have won together now 26 races, and I think that's an astonishing record on its own, isn't it, David?
It's a lot. It's a lot of races.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
David says to me many times that it's not enough. But I'd just like David, just in a few words, to explain exactly his responsibilities within the team.
Thank you, Nigel. Drop a minute. It's my responsibility within the team. Reliability of the car, making it good enough and quick enough so Nigel can go around and drive it every lap of the race flat out. I would say it's probably a good way of putting it, wouldn't you?
David is very modest because without him, I couldn't actually function as a race car driver and I couldn't actually win the race. Why? David is the key individual that actually translates all my requirements onto the car via the mechanics. So, I mean, he is modest and he is one of the great engineers of, in my opinion, of all time in Formula One. And the most important thing I'd like to go on record and say to all of you, David is part of my World Championship this year. We've been a great team, and I'll say to him now on the TV, thanks David.
Are they all going to get round? Mansell gets away beautifully. And there's somebody stuck. It looks like Gerhard Berger. It is Gerhard Berger. And Senna is in the lead ahead of the two Williams. 3 out of 26 have retired, and we are now on the second lap out of 44, and Mansell going for it. Now he challenges. Is he through at the bus stop? Yes, yes. Mansell is absolutely together. They're coming down to the left-hander now. Mansell leads. Senna second, but Tracy third.
雨足が強くなり、マンセルは3周目でピットイン。1回目のタイヤ交換をした。11周目、ウィリアムズ・ルノーが再びリード。路面が乾くにつれ、再びタイヤ交換が必要になった。33周目、2度目のピットインをしたマンセルに代わり、シューマッハがトップに立った。シューマッハへの追撃もエンジンのトラブルによりかなわず、マンセルは2位でゴールに滑り込んだ。
The first win ever for Michael Schumacher, and he puts his arm out, and he is naturally elated.
スパで2位と3位に入ったウィリアムズはあと4戦を残してコンストラクターズチャンピオンシップに決着をつけた。
There's no question that you know, things would have gone right, and even if the car would have worked good until the end, I mean, you know, I still felt that we could win the race. I mean, I got within a couple of seconds of Michael, and but then, you know, we lost a cylinder on the engine with the injector. But I mean, Michael is no question, considering it is his first year, as you point out, I think he's done exceptionally well.
イタリアグランプリモンツァでのウィリアムズ陣営は一見平穏そのものだ。マンセルとパトレーゼは F1 のジャーナリストチームを相手にサッカーの試合に興じている。舞台の裏側では契約上の論争が深刻化していたが、マンセルはポールポジションを取ることにより自分の存在をアピールしていた。
Well, there could have been a whole number of things happening today, but the goalpost move, as ever, very quickly in Formula One, and prudence is prevailing. In as much as I'm being patient, I'm listening, and as soon as I leave you here now, I should be making a phone call to my wife to discuss certain things and revelations I found out about today. And it might well be that you know, I might take charge of the situation tomorrow. Great legs, but they're ever so tired.
決勝当日、いつものひょうきんさを見せるマンセル。この後の記者会見で落とす爆弾は巧みに隠されていた。
Due to circumstances beyond my control, I have decided to retire in Formula One at the end of this season.
It is go, and Alesi goes straight past Ayrton Senna as they accelerate to the Rettifilio, and the Italian crowd roars with approval. Mansell leads in the Rettifilio. Senna comes through into second place, locks up, displaces Jean Alesi, and here is Patrese challenging Ayrton Senna for second place as they go through into the 14th lap, and he's going through. Is he? Yes. Senna tries to hold him off but fails.
マンセルはオープニングラップから大きなリードを奪っていたが、20周目にはチームメートのパトレーゼが先頭に立った。そして41周目でマンセルはまさかのリタイア。逆転劇は母国での優勝を夢見るパトレーゼへの思いやりであった。しかしそのパトレーゼもマシントラブルでスローダウン。マンセルの友情も実を結ばずに終わる。結局セナが今シーズン3勝目を挙げ、ブランドルが健闘の末初の2位入賞を果たした。しかしマンセルの衝撃的な声明はレースの結末に暗い影を落とした。
Well, it depends how you look at it, really. I mean, obviously it's very sad because it's come to the point that I've chosen to retire, but there's many reasons why I've taken that decision. I wouldn't say that it was taken voluntarily. I mean, what I would like to do now, and for the viewers, is actually read the statement that was put out this morning. and that is due to circumstances beyond my control, I have decided to retire from Formula One at the end of the season. I have made this decision with some regret, but not without a great deal of thought. Any relationship between a driver and a Formula One team is vital for success and partly dependent on money, because it defines how seriously the team and its backers take the driver. But those who know me well understand the importance of the human side and the mutual trust and goodwill and integrity and fair play that are the basis of all human relationships. All these issues have suffered in recent weeks. Looking back, I feel that relationships between me and the Cannon Williams team started to break down in the Hungarian Grand Prix. A deal was agreed with Frank Williams before that race, in front of a witness. That was my wife, in point of fact. And I have to say that at the time I felt very good about racing again with Williams in '93. Having won the championship, I was looking forward to defending the title with what I believe to be a very competitive car. To have the motivation to win a world championship, you must in turn have those commitments back from the team. When I returned from Ferrari, I did so with the belief that I had the motivation and the team had the commitment. I don't think I was wrong. Now things are different. I no longer feel, so far as I am concerned, that the commitment from the team towards me for next year is there. There are many reasons for this, and I have tried to give some idea of how I feel. Other people will no doubt draw their own conclusions. For one thing, it is clear that Alan Prost has been committed to the team for months. For another, I thought I had a deal when clearly I did not, and needless to say, I do not understand why these things have happened. Yes, in recent weeks, various people have tried to smooth things over, and I respect that and I thank them for their time. But now I realise that it's all too late. To my mind, it comes down to fair play, or the lack of it. Money, a trigger for the problems after Hungary, is now no longer an issue for me. In finishing, I'd like to say, in the most sincerest of ways, that I will always be grateful to the Williams team and Renault for the support they have given me in 1992.
Nigel, what was the contractual situation in Hungary?
I agreed to deal with Frank to drive in 1993 before the race.
In Hungary?
In Hungary.
Can you just spell that out, because it's terribly important. You and Frank had reached an
Roseanne
agreement.
and I, in a meeting with Frank, agreed financial terms to drive for Williams and the associated sponsors in the 1993 season, before the race. And subsequently then we had an incredible telephone call on Wednesday from a director of Williams, which was Sheridan, stating literally verbatim that the deal that we had struck was not a deal anymore, and that the goalpost had moved because Ayrton had offered his services for nothing. And they said that if I was not to agree in 1 hour, they had Ayrton there waiting in France that night to sign a 2-year deal that evening. And I said, well, I'll give you the answer now, you don't have to call back in an hour. The answer is, regrettably, sign Ayrton, you know, because I'm not going to work under those conditions. And I just said how disgusted I was. And then, you know, I have to say that Sheridan, out of his own volition, after putting the phone down on me, wrote his own resignation there and then and delivered it that night to Frank Williams' house.
I think that for any negotiation to be successful, there is a commercial side and a human side. I think the commercial side was nearly achieved, and it requires a human commitment to put things together at the end of the day. I was certainly very much involved in that. I certainly worked as hard as I could towards it. I know Nigel wanted it very much, and I think it's easy for people watching this to know who else needed to make a great commitment, and not only within Williams but in some of our major partners, and they didn't perhaps want it quite enough for it to happen.
You made this dramatic appearance to read a withdrawal from Formula One statement, and while you were making that statement, one of the Williams people, Gary Crumpler, came in and said something to you. What was it all about?
Oof. Well, it's a tough one, but I'll tell you, as it is. He said, look, stop this, stop it now. I probably looked look back on it and say that was the biggest situation of brinkmanship, I think, that I've certainly ever experienced in my life or my career. And I was sitting in front of you, or I was embarrassed in front of all the cameras, all the press, that they could even consider doing something like that at literally the 11th hour.
I've been fortunate this year that I've been able to travel around with Nigel probably to more of the races than I ever have done since having the children. Consequently, I've been in on all the negotiations from the start, and I suppose I've probably had an even more difficult time of it than Nigel to comprehend as to how it could have ended up how it ended up. When you think 1 minute something is there, the offer is there, everything is agreed and on the table, and the next minute the tablecloth's whipped from underneath you.
イタリアグランプリ終了後の金曜日、インディーカーのニューマンハースチームがナイジェル・マンセルとの契約を発表した。1993年、マンセルはアメリカで走る。
Thanks for coming. Yeah, well, that's a good one, isn't it? I mean, obviously we signed for the Newman Haas team, and that's going to be an incredible new challenge. Can't really tell you much about the cars. I've never driven one, never sat in one.
Whatever it's going to be very exciting for everybody. I don't see any reason why Nigel can't do that. I think he's going to catch on quicker than everybody thinks.
ポルトガルでのマンセルは本来の速さを取り戻し、1回目の予選で難なくポールポジションを手に入れる。
These next 3 races are almost, in some ways, quite romantic because, I won't be coming back here again. Whereas up until a few weeks ago, I hadn't had that concept in my head. So therefore, I'm going places now, seeing people I won't see for a long, long time, if at all, ever again. And therefore, there is a tinge of sadness, but a tinge also of great expectancy for a new life, a new future, and a new challenge. And that excites me a lot.
And it's go. Mansell kicks it sideways. Gets away well. Senna trying to get up on the right. The Berger is already up into third position ahead of his teammates. It's Mansell leading. Patrese second. Senna taking third place from Gerhard Berger and challenging Patrese. Here he is. He is into the pits. It was that right rear last year that caused the problem. They'll be on tenterhooks this time. Well, that was nothing to write home about, but 9.45 seconds has at least got Nigel Mansell back into the race on 4 wheels.
一方、パトレーゼとベルガーは熾烈なバトルを繰り広げていた。だがそれも悪夢のようなアクシデントで幕を閉じる。
Well, let us hope and pray that Riccardo Patrese is all right as he clouted Gerhard Berger's car. You saw he is all right, I think. You can see his head moving. He's got the visor up. You can see his eyes. But my goodness, that could have been a terrible, terrible accident. It was bad enough. But thank heaven, Patrese seems to be all right.
He took it pretty quietly early on. Then in the middle of the race, he really put the hammer down and charged away from everybody and turned it into yet another very easy win indeed.
And as Mansell crosses the line, Mansell wins the Portuguese Grand Prix.
あらゆるレコードを破りながらマンセルはポルトガルでさらに2つの新記録を樹立した。シーズン最多優勝と最多得点である。
What happened at Estoril, the pit lane entrance was, it's not really well defined, there's no real yellow line. It caught Riccardo totally by surprise and he didn't have time to react, and hence he ran up the back and then just took off. And we all know what subsequently happened next. And I think it was the most dreadful visual accident that we've seen in recent times.
Could have been so much worse, of course.
And there's no question the cars are strong, but forget the cars being strong. He cheated death by that much.
今シーズンも15戦目に突入した。マンセルは未だに日本グランプリを制覇していない。ライバルホンダの地元で初優勝を飾るチャンスが巡ってきた。
Go! Mansell moves across to the centre on Riccardo Patrese, who's trying to go up on the inside, and Gerhard Berger challenges Ayrton Senna as they go round the first right-hander in turn 1, and it's the 2 Williams in front with Ayrton Senna in 3rd position. In 4th position it is his teammate Gerhard Berger, And you can see the lead already. As I speak, Senna slowing right down this early in the race, and he's obviously going to retire. Dreadful for Honda and for McLaren. And Nigel Mansell will probably have that information relayed to him by the pits to car radio and will be feeling even happier as a result of it than he was before. Mansell has stopped. We've got news that I can't see him, but he's moving. You can't see Nigel Mansell. You are looking at Andrea De Cesaris, who is in 7th position, and Riccardo Patrese on lap 37 has gone into the lead. But I suspect, and it is only a guess, that the new leader, Riccardo Patrese, is having this race donated to him by Nigel Mansell. It's going to be very interesting to see. And there's a fire. Nigel Mansell's Williams is on fire. Well, this solves it. Nigel Mansell is not going to finish in the Japanese Grand Prix. He's on lap 45 and he's coming in to retire. Well, he had generously donated victory to Riccardo Patrese and he walks in to retire. Into the chicane for the last time. He really could coast home and win now, and a more popular victory it would be hard to imagine. Riccardo Patrese wins the 1992 Japanese Grand Prix. Gerhard Berger coming through into 2nd position, and Martin Brundle is going to take 3rd position.
The engine just let go, which was a bit of a shame. But I mean, up until then, everything was going well. As you can see, with 20 odd laps to go, I pulled over and just let Riccardo by. I was pleased.
Prearranged?
I wasn't prearranged as such, but I said I'd help him, and I figure for him to go into the last race with 6 points ahead of Ayrton is better than only 2. So, I'm just sad that we weren't, 1-2, and, I should have got another 6 points, which is a shame.
アデレードで開催されたオーストラリアグランプリでマンセルは最後のフォーミュラー1レースを戦った。
Perfect! Mansell gets away beautifully. Patrese closes up on Senna. Everybody is getting away. Mansell leads. Senna 2nd. Patrese 3rd. Schumacher is up to 4th. Alesi is 5th. Berger is down to 6th. Brundle is 7th. There's a spinner. It's one of the Delaras. And Griard is out already. And now is the time for the Williams to try to get away. But this is the time when McLaren will be strongest, and Senna goes through. Senna leads, Mansell retakes it. Wow, already the Titans are fighting. Well, we always knew that this Australian Grand Prix was a potential ripper, and it's turning out to be just that. Mansell leads Senna.
And there are the leaders, and Senna really trying, and there's still a car in front of them.
Now, both go out. Mansell was destined not to finish the Australian Grand Prix, and that's exactly the same situation for Ayrton Senna that he was in the previous year with his left wheel, and Mansell is furious. You have destroyed my opportunity of winning the 10th Grand Prix of the year.
Now Senna was trying to take advantage of the back marker situation. He tries to get inside Mansell, he loses the back of his car, and Nigel Mansell, absolutely the innocent party in that. And a great shame for Nigel Mansell.
ナイジェル・マンセルの最後のレースは早すぎるリタイアで幕を閉じた。
And it is starting to rain, possibly, on the circuit. We've got a serious threat of it anyway. And Patrese stopped. Patrese and Berger takes the lead. And what happened to Riccardo Patrese?
And Michael Schumacher, fighting to the last inch of the Australian Grand Prix, has given us a magnificent race. They're down to the last corner in Australia for the last Grand Prix of 1992. Berger backs off as he crosses the line, and he wins the Australian Grand Prix by 7/10 of a second.
As I predicted, the McLaren and the Honda combined with Ayrton here and Gerhard, because Gerhard went on to win, was very formidable. And the disappointment was that, we came up on traffic, which should have been sort of normal, and we got through the first bit of traffic, but then Ayrton, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's obviously made a very sort of serious mistake, and, just took me straight out. I mean, I wasn't even expecting it, and I had a big thump up the back, and that was it. Race was over.
ドライバーズチャンピオンシップの最終成績。トップのナイジェル・マンセルが 史上最高の108ポイントをマークした。2位はリカルド・パトレーゼ、3位にシューマッハが入った。1992年のグランプリが幕を閉じるその日、マンセルはフォーミュラー1に別れを告げた。ナイジェル・マンセル、1980年オーストリアグランプリでデビュー。出走回数181回。彼の持つ通算30勝の記録は歴代第3位の成績である。アグレッシブな走り、そして不屈の精神。1993年の F1 にマンセルはいない。
I think Nigel Mansell is one of the most aggressive drivers that we've seen for quite some time. Highly spirited, very heavily motivated, and when he's on, I think there are few people can keep up with Nigel Mansell.
There has been rather a dearth of success in the country in recent times. You know, it's good to see something you can latch on to, and I hope, you know, the economy and everything else latches on to Nigel.
I think Nigel is a great racer. I think he's given the sport an enormous amount of pleasure because if Nigel's not there, it isn't really boiling, you know.
The greatest thing of all is that I'm leaving Formula One with the most wonderful and best prize in the world, which is the championship. And I think, as you all agree, with the amount of work and years I've put into my Formula One career, I think it's fair to say that we deserve that. And if you have to leave Formula One, isn't that the best way to leave it, with the greatest prize of all?
ナイジェル・マンセルの92年は絶頂を極めた最高のシーズンだと言える。次々と記録を塗り替え、前代未聞の成功を収めた。素晴らしいマシンを得て、ついに生涯の野望を達成する。30年間の努力が報われ、やっと掴んだワールドチャンピオンの座。残念なことに93年のタイトル防衛は叶わぬ夢となった。しかしマンセルは胸を張って F1 を去っていく。彼の非凡な才能と見事な決断力は感動的な思い出となって我々の心に残ることだろう。私たちはこう言いたい。ありがとうマンセル。そして未来に栄光あれ。